proud of how our kids responded off of week one. We talked specifically about some of the things that we really needed to work on and to change the narrative of the end result that we had at Duke. And really proud of our kids, the way they went to work, buckled down, and really worked. We had a really great week of work last week that you had been prepared to play this game against Lafayette, and a lot of that hard work showed up in their play. They were able to cut it loose, and they played with good energy, and it's definitely something that we can build on moving forward. Super excited about moving forward this week. We're in homecoming, and it's a very special week for our president, Dr. Wingard, who's in his inauguration as president of this university, and should be special as far as the environment is concerned and things of that sort, and ready to get back into Lincoln Financial and hopefully put a good display of football out there for our fans. So excited.
Stan, how's the team doing health-wise after you said?
Yeah, we you play football. We're gonna have a little bump and bruise here and there, and I think that that's something that is a daily evaluation, but I like where we are right now.
Stan, I wonder, as you sort of prep this week, do you try to rep 3 quarterbacks, or do you narrow it to 2 as you prepare for this game?
Well, we have to go and take a look at what Rutgers is presenting to us, and obviously try to find the best way to put the best players on the field in the best position to give us some success on Saturday. So whatever it takes, we'll be prepared to do.
As you watched film of EJ from Saturday, what did you see beyond, just having more time to look at what he did? What did you think about it?
Really proud of the way he handled the pressure. He didn't flinch. He went out there and executed the offense. Didn't try to step outside himself. Went out there and put the ball where it needed to be put. Took some hits, responded to those hits. And very excited about what he's capable of doing moving forward. He has a very high ceiling as a player and still has a lot to learn. But to be able to get on the stage when his number was called and to be prepared was something that we're excited about. Very poised and did his job.
How did Thoman grade out? He jumped into the lineup there on the offensive line.
Thoman did his job. He was prepared and ready to go. Obviously some things that we need to work on still, but a kid didn't flinch. He went out there, handled his business, didn't flinch. So we're excited about, again, him moving forward for us if need be.
I was going to ask about Jordan Smith, because the first game, no 10s, any catches so far without D-Warren last week. Was it nice to see Jordan get some catches and get a touchdown last week?
It was awesome to see Jordan get some success out there. He's worked his butt off for the opportunity that he had out there and took advantage of it when the ball was thrown in this area. Very talented young man, really is. Has worked his butt off through some things, changing positions being one of them, right? Put on the weight, had to learn a brand new system, and it's been a constant improvement and a trend in the right direction. So I think the future is very bright for JL.
Rutgers is another team that they're playing multiple quarterbacks. What do you see in those guys, and how do you got to prepare for different skill sets in those guys?
Yeah, both Wimstad and Simon, very talented football players. They both bring their own little strengths and weaknesses to the game. I see a lot of strength, not a lot of weakness, but Wimstad, being the bigger of the two, can play with his feet. When he decides to run the football, you're looking at a 6'3", 220-pound ball carrier that you gotta tackle him. Simon's a guy who manages the pass game really well, throws with good accuracy, but also when it's time for him to use his feet, he's very effective. They're very multiple formationally. They do a lot of creativity in the run game that gets guys open into space. When the run game kind of, I shouldn't say shut down because they hadn't shut down, but they complement their run game really well with being able to get the ball in space to their wide receivers, RPOs. And not only that, they have a tight end, number 21, Langman, I think it is, no disrespect. Very talented, lines up and gets the ball at Wildcat, very versatile football player. It's really going to force us to lock in, get lined up, stay true to our keys, be very disciplined, and still be able to cut it loose and tackle them in space and tackle their athletes in the run game. We have to be very physical up front with this unit. So we got a nice challenge ahead of us.
What did you see from Ian Stewart, especially after watching through film? Him and EJ had a nice connection in the end zone. What did you see from him just by that?
Ian goes about his business the right way. He's never been an athlete that flinches under pressure. He blocked well, even though we did get a penalty out there, a holding penalty on him in the run game. But we know where he's going to be. He's all within the play call. He's always going to be where he belongs, and that's always a comforting thing for a quarterback, especially a new quarterback that's getting out there for the first time. We know Ian's going to be where he belongs. We just need him to continue to make plays for us, continue to catch those contested plays, contested balls for us. And we're really excited about where he is right now, and he's a valuable piece to this offense. So, it was great to see him get out there and be as consistent as he was on Saturday.
Has DeJuan's sort of reaction in the 48 hours since then been what you hope or expect to, getting pulled?
DeJuan's been phenomenal. He's a guy who wants to win. He's all about winning, and he trusts us as a coaching staff that we're going to put our players in the proper position to win. And so when things weren't quite going his way, his response wasn't that of disappointment. It was that of, okay, who's the next man in, and what can I do to help him have success for the team to have success? So it's been a great response by DeJuan.
Do you plan to have EJ take first team reps this week at practice? I know last week you mentioned he was with Q's. How do you see him this week?
Yeah, this week he will get some first team reps. He's been getting first team reps. Really, we've been really rotating those quarterbacks in that group. It's really the true evaluation of our quarterbacks is to get them with the ones and see what they really can do. So he's been getting those reps all along. But he will get more of those reps moving forward.
One thing about that, the second touchdown in that, Lafayette's second touchdown on Saturday, I assume that was a legal formation. I noticed watching, they had and everybody just went running past that tight end because he was at tackle, right? That was funky.
I mean, those are the formations that you get in the red zone from time to time, and a large percentage of the time the tight end's going to get the ball. And if you really study that play, our safety, Alex Odom, recognized it. They formation shift, and they had a motion, and they saw the tight end eligible on the backside. And it just didn't really get communicated to the proper person within that play, that defensive call. There was a bust there, and they capitalized on it. So kudos to Lafayette on that one.
Very similar to Lafayette, Rutgers just really wants to establish the run. They've had very good rushing games the first two games. What is something that I guess is the most difficult to repeat? You guys did such a good job with the run game against Lafayette. What do you guys want to do to repeat that next week?
Do another great job against the run. It's something that's unnecessary. If you're going to line up and play with Rutgers, you got to stop their strength, which is their run game. And again, they're very creative in how they go about keeping that fresh and alive during the course of the game formationally. Different guys touching the ball, RPO game to keep you honest on defense. They're really good, and they're physical up front. So we've got to get off blocks. We've got to stay true to our keys, and we got to trigger. Once we see the ball, we got to get around the ball and tackle the ball.
Stan, how would you evaluate the progress of your running backs from Sadie and those guys had a solid game on Saturday? Are you pleased with where they're trending up so far?
I am pleased. They played hard. They ran hard. At times they played past contact, which is really good. Running backs have got to be able to get yards on their own. And I think that that's something that is enhancing in that room. And to be able to see it happen from more than just one person is what keeps the run game fresh for us moving forward. Very, very excited about where they're trending right now. And I hope they continue to trend in the right direction.
In the passing game, is there a plan to try to get them more involved as the season goes on and keep getting them some more reps in practice to try to perhaps find a third down or a passing down back?
Yeah, they have the ability to catch the ball, and I think that's something that keeps the offense fresh. They absolutely are involved in the pass game. We need to make sure that they continue to do a decent job and a much better job moving forward in protecting the quarterback. But yeah, we have to be able to find different ways to get them the ball. It just keeps our offense open.
Coach, what did you see out of Jalen Marion? His first home start on Saturday. So we also closed out one play. What have you seen from him in the first 2 weeks so far?
He's been phenomenal. He prepares like a pro. Really excited about the play he made down there in the tight red zone. That was good to see. He's tackling well. He made some big improvements, from game one. So excited to see where he's going from now. Again, very high ceiling, nowhere near the potential that I believe he has. And he knows it. Very sharp, very smart back there, can get people lined up at the corner position. That's pretty special. But, he's definitely trending in the right direction.
Cameron Reeves and David Martin Robinson, two guys you mentioned, you're still trying to get back to full health. Where are they at right now?
We're trending in the right direction. It's a day-to-day evaluation with Dan Martin at this point. But I'm excited where he is. He's getting better every day. He's obviously a piece that is an integral part to the way this offense will function in the future. And he's got the right mindset. And we're just trusting the trainers that they're going to get him ready to play.
Sorry, the other corner, you kind of rotated through three guys, on Saturday. Is that, I don't know, narrowing down based on performance on Saturday, or what's kind of happening there?
Just trying to put the right guys in the right situation at the right time. Corey Palmer was a guy that played corner. Elijah Clark played some corner. And D. Hill played some corner. It's a competition going on right there. And we're going to put the right guy out there at the right time.
You mentioned last week you sat down for the leadership committee to evaluate the film from Duke. Was that something that you did this week as well?
That's something we do every week. They give me a heartbeat of what's going on in that locker room. I also give them an opportunity to voice their opinions on what can be done better operationally. This is a player-friendly program, and they have the information that's needed that sometimes the coaches don't have. What's going on in that locker room now? They're leadership guys because they understand the culture that we're trying to build. Sometimes they'll come to you with some demands and some commands that I'm not going to buy into, but as long as it fits the culture, we're going to try to do the best thing that we can, given their opinion and suggestions to make sure that we have a real family environment and a functional environment in this building.
I'm reflecting on the game on Saturday. That was your first career win. How did you, overall, I know it's just one game, but your emotions, how were your emotions after the game with the win, and how much does it really mean to you to get that first win?
It really feels great to get a win. Very, very realistic on where we need to continue to improve. And we saw some things improve on this past Saturday, and I was excited about that. I was excited to see the young men have fun, play with each other, for each other, play hard for 4 quarters. That's what I was most excited about, because I know those are the things that we can move forward and build a winning program on. There's still a lot of things that we need to continue to work on and improve, and that's what I'm very realistic about. So that being said, I enjoyed it, but I'm back to work, back to the drawing board.
Stan, one of EJ's touchdown passes, you just got drilled with pressure coming up from the middle. It might sound like the obvious question to ask, but is that something that you saw in practice? It's not always something you see with a young quarterback. If they see pressure right away, they'll accept the sack, they'll get rid of the ball, but he stood in there and took the hit and delivered the touchdown pass. Is that something you guys kind of knew was coming and had him out there on the field?
Oh, those were the pleasant surprises, right? Because they sit there and they practice in the green jersey all spring, all fall camp, and I'm blowing a quick whistle anytime anybody gets close to him, right? But he was a guy who took those hits, and those are normally the signs of a good quarterback, a guy who can sit there and keep his eyes down the field, trust that the protection is going to be okay, and deliver the ball and take those hits, get back up and deliver it again. And that's what we saw out of EJ. That's exciting. And we hope to see more of that moving forward, because those are real things that are always going to happen. You have to have a quarterback that can deliver the ball, take a hit from time to time, hopefully not too many, but they're going to take hits, and they've got to get up and and not get rattled by the contact. And that was something that was very exciting to see from DJ.
And at that outside linebacker spot, is Leighton just like physically, athletically, like if DJ could pick a guy to put in what that role is supposed to do, is he really a great fit there?
He's a tremendous fit for that position. He's wiry, he's very athletic, he's fast, and he's tough. We sit there and we look at him get in the backfield, make some sacks here and there and all that good stuff, but you turn the film on, he's fitting on guards and tackles that are pulling his way, and he's not flinching. He's a tough football player. Real excited about the way he played, and there's still a lot of growth in him still. And he's got the right mindset right now. The thing I'm most excited about, Leto, is he played that whole game without an MA. That's what I'm excited about. He played it physical, he cut it loose, and he was very confident in what he was doing and didn't make a mistake out there. So a lot of room for improvement still with him, but he's definitely in the right spot.
Coach, what have you seen coming in this Rutgers game from the wide receiver group of Aaron Cruikshank and Joshua Youngblood? How do you see that, that matchup, what that
They do a great job. I mean, they can run. They're athletic, they can run, they're fast. And offensively, Coach Gleason does a great job of getting those guys the ball in space. We just got to rally. We got to, again, be disciplined with our eyes. We can't get caught looking at the wrong thing. If we do, it's going to turn into an explosive on us, and that's what we can't have a whole lot of in this game against Rutgers. So we got to tackle them in space. Once the ball is in their hands, we got to tackle them in space. That's our game plan.
As far as key players go, there's not much roster turnover with Temple and Rutgers. Is there going to be any emphasis on looking at what happened in last year's game when Temple and Rutgers met up, or is it just clean slate, go off what you've seen from Rutgers this season?
It's a clean slate. I mean, I know they took one on the chin last year. This is a different Temple football team. They've got a different mindset. They got a different approach. A lot of them know each other on both sides of the ball. They're friends. They grew up with each other, and so it should be a good game that way. We can't look in the rearview mirror, especially on something that I had no involvement with. Just moving forward, we know how we got to go attack this Rutgers football team, and we're attacking it with a different mindset. Hopefully, we get a different result.
Coach Shire have any sort of intel? This is like the battle of Aussie punters. I mean, that guy on the other side is tough, right?
Yeah, yes, yeah. But a lot of what they're doing is what Shire implemented there. So there's a lot of gnomes in the special teams game. And that should be a huge piece to this game. It's going to be the battle of wills. It's not going to be a battle of tricks. I mean, I'm sure they'll have some stuff in their back pocket for us that are unscouted schemes and looks, but we know what they're going to bring to the table from a personnel standpoint. And they're good. They're good. So we'll be prepared for it.
I would guess, right, at Texas, Oklahoma, and Florida, Georgia, you've had games where it was like, the split crowd type, aspect, which is, kind of unusual in football.
Yeah,
but what is that like, and is that something you sort of, you address to the team, how it's going to be there?
Well, the one thing I address to our football team is always a blessing to be able to play at home in front of our home crowd. We know this is a big game for the simple fact that these players know each other. I have a lot of Jersey natives on my football team, on my staff, and they know the significance of a game like this. We have to focus in on getting better as a football team. We have to execute better. We have to lock into continually tackling, the opponent. We have to lock into, ball security. We can't look in the stands and see red versus the cherry. We got to look at the red versus the cherry on the football field and focus in on that. And obviously, it's a homecoming week for us, so we're excited about that opportunity to represent this university that way on the football field. But that's something that we should be excited about every week, and we cannot get caught into the environment.
Is Adam feeling okay? When you might know his status?
That's a day-to-day process. We're excited where he is right now, but we'll learn more as the week goes on.
Okay. Thanks, Coach.